You need to find your why, not only for each other, but also for yourself. We don't have a legacy that we're pushing it onto. But for me and Daniel, it's something that we can do meaningfully together.
Welcome to the TCS Woman Podcast. Let's get started.
My name is Kelsey Wright, and I'm going to be talking about working with your spouse, because that is exactly what I started doing over the last year and a half. So Daniel is going to be brought into a lot of this, so sorry in advance. So like I said, my name is Kelsey Wright. I've been working with Proline now for a year and a half, and initially I was a nurse. So there is me right over there with my graduation cap on, and that is all to do with Daniel. So he gave up a lot. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. To get me to where I was with nursing. He worked multiple jobs. He was at the fire department, 2 different fire departments, had a landscape business, and during all that, he also had Proline. So he had 4 jobs while I was going through nursing school, and now I'm at Proline. So I just gave up all of that. It's all your hard work for Proline. So how did we get there, and how is working together happening? So currently I am vice president at Proline. I did not start that way. I worked my way into that position. And I want to share with everyone how we work together in the company, being husband and wife, now coworker, integrating into a company that I was around for and building, but not there on a daily basis. So that's a big transition, and to do that successfully, which I think we hopefully done. If JJ was here, I'd ask him, but going through that whole process. All right, navigating the challenges and change. Let's go through this. It's very intimidating as it sets up there. Like I said, am the nurse, currently a nurse, and there's a lot of different changes between that field and pavement industry. Terminology. I mean, in nursing, there's a term called like a manometer. Does anyone know what that is? Okay, it's a blood pressure cup, just so you know. But just learning different industry terms, I mean, going from nursing of learning that nitty-gritty term to going into the axle construction industry and knowing the difference between an asphalt repair and a pothole repair. I would have never known, but through all of my education that I'm going through, I would have just thought, hey, we're going to throw asphalt into a hole, we're going to fix it that way. Pothole repair versus let's cut it out and stick some asphalt and we're going to repair it that way. It's just going through learning challenges in the industry from changes. So there's different things. Between me and Daniel, the challenges that we face, becoming a partner at home versus a partner at work. How do you navigate that? How do you talk to each other? I mean, at work, because you work in the same office, I'd be like, in a normal world, I'd be like, hey, babe, can you give me that piece of document? Or if I get frustrated at something, I might come at him in a horrible way, but now I need to figure out that I shouldn't talk like that to you, Ben, and how we balance that. I don't know how many times he looks at me, he's like, you're at work, you can't do that. But just finding that balance of talking to each other and navigating working together and also bringing it at home. It's a hard thing to do, but being an expert in my field versus embracing a new industry. I'm not a expert in nursing where I was, and I'm definitely not an expert into the pavement industry. So I have to lean on him a lot and actually take a step back, get out of my head and say, I'm not an expert at this. I'm a complete novice in this industry, and I need to lean on people around me to learn. And that is what I do with Kim and with JJ and everyone else around me, because I know I'm not the expert. I want to lean on them to educate me. And I feel like that's how I've really succeeded on integrating myself into the company, because I'm trying to step back out of my ego and to learn and to say I don't know everything. And that's been a very hard challenge to learn. It's intimidating. And I think the big part of it is stepping out of your comfort zone and making it known that I do have an ego, but I need to put that aside for the better good of the company and also for our marriage. I'm really flying through this. I'm sorry, guys. Integration within the company. I was a nurse like I said, from 2018 until 2023 when I left the company. I went from family practice, and then I did pediatrics and triage. And then I did case management. And case management, I worked home remotely and with my dog every single day. That's what I did at home in my pajamas. And when you determined that I was going to be with the company, I needed a challenge, and I was not being challenged at my current job in case management. I truly was very bored. I could do my whole entire caseload, which is 8 hours in the day, where you had to clock in or make sure your mouse is moving so they can see you're doing something. I can get all my work done in 4 hours throughout the day. So what am I doing throughout the day? I was so bored. And Daniel would come home that he finished already, or he would hear the back end of a conversation because I'm home alone. I have it on speaker and he'd hear something. And he's like, why did we work so hard for you to be in nursing when you're treated that way or you're just bored? He did not like how people talked to me, or I just wasn't challenged enough. He's like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you interested in all with helping with the business? Like, well, okay, we've got nursing over here. I do calculations, so I do a lot of math. And then you got Proline and all my estimate putting together. Okay, there's math. You got some correlation going on. I could do that. Time management. I had tasks that I need to do throughout the day for nursing. I could check my little boxes. Okay, I'm sure there's something I can do at Proline that would check that box of time management. So overall, I know the industries are different, or the trade or whatever it is. In the end, their tasks are typically the same, and there's still a challenge to be had. So like I said, I tried and I decided that I'm going to go with Proline. And what we did, since I was working remote, and not everyone will have the opportunity to do this, is I took my entire office at my home. I work remote. And I went to Proline and I commandeered his whole entire office. He didn't have an office. I took over. And I set up camp. Like I said, I could do my whole caseload in 4 hours. So what I did is, during the times that I didn't have to be on phone calls with my clients, I will go sit in meetings that they had going on. I go hang out with the guys. But when I was in those meetings, I would not give input. I was strictly there to learn, to see this is something I really can see myself in and I can give value towards. So identify where I could add the most value. What could I do here? I didn't want to just trade another position for myself because I'm the wife. I didn't want that. I didn't want that nepotism, or just, we're just going to spend money, give it over here when there's no reason for that position. I wanted to add value. I wanted to have it, like I said, have a challenge or something I can do to improve the company. So as I was doing that, as I was being silent in those meetings and observing and seeing how the culture was, I learned our CRM system, and any idea I had, I didn't just present it to the company. I had it go through Daniel because I'm still new. I did not want to be that person that came into the company and who has no authority. I mean, I've been around, I've been helping Daniel throughout the years on the back end, but I haven't been in the office day in and day out, where JJ has been there for 3 years and now I'm going to go tell him what to do. That's not what I wanted. So any idea that I had, I would put it to Daniel. And I didn't really care that it wasn't my idea. It was for the better good of the company that we could improve together. So one example was, we use a system called Basecamp. I don't know if anyone's heard that or used that. And there's a lot of to-dos. He's laughing at me, so you know where I'm going with this. And they would use, so we don't have a CRM full system for sales. We use Basecamp. And what they would do, if someone called in, Amanda would get all the information, make a to-do list for him. And that's how he knew that he had an estimate to put out. I'm like, okay, well, how are you doing your follow-ups? How do you know you actually did it? Do you have a step that you need to do after that? Like, where is it in the process of when you got an estimate and now you got to get it invoiced, or does it need put into a project for the guys? It was so confusing. So I just went through it all and I made a whole new system, and it's a sales pipeline. Now we use it to this day, and it's organized. I could see everything from a glance. It's wonderful. But sorry, honey, it really sucked beforehand. But if I didn't take that time or step back or just involve myself into the nitty gritty and try to learn and see if I could be better, I mean, you wouldn't have that. And probably a lot of things are better now. So you're welcome. But me doing that, I mean, it helped me build credibility within the company. It helped me better align with our culture. The guys knew I wasn't trying to come in and just take over and try and be their boss, because we all know Kelsey's the total boss. Like, yeah. You're welcome, Chip. But like I said, if you do it incorrectly, and I feel like we did it very well, it can create bad morale. It could show that there's like favoritism within the family, or I didn't work up to the position that I'm in. I started as, truthfully, I told Daniel when I came in, he's like, what position do you want? I said, I don't really care. So he blamed me as an administrative director because I helped out with pretty much everything. I think we were at a trade show one time and he looked at my little thing that says Kelsey Wright, Pro Life Parking Lot Maintenance administrative director, and he goes, I just don't like that. I think we need to change this. This makes me feel really bad. I don't like it. And so any position that I've been in is because he doesn't like what position title it is. But my business card does say total boss, and that still is him. He named it. So if you do it thoughtfully, it could go very well. So pick some time too. Setting boundaries. This is a hard one, you guys. Me and Daniel don't have kids. We don't plan on having kids? Question mark right there. I don't know. Okay, have kids. I don't know. So work is our baby. We do everything. There's no way that work can't spill into home life. And truthfully, I don't think it shouldn't. Like, it should. Because even if I was in nursing still and Daniel was at Proline still, I still want to hear about your day. Work still comes at home. But you need to set a boundary of when I don't want to talk about it. I'm in my zone to be at home and watch TV and do nothing and hang out with my dogs on the couch, and I don't want to be talking about financials right now. You need to read the room, honey, and let me know another time about it. But finding something that you can do together has helped our marriage exponentially, I believe. We have found golf. Because I'm competitive, he's competitive, but it's against yourself, not each other. So I can't get mad at you for my score. So it's something that we can do together and not enough time to talk about work. So if you work with your spouse, please find something like that, because it encourages you guys to do something together and it's not always work related. There's not enough time for us in golf because his ball went that way, then mine went this way, and now we're going across again because we play ping pong in golf. But find something that you could do to decompress and just be together as husband and wife and not talk about work. So that's something that we found together that's really helped. Setting common goals and purpose. So the big thing for here is you need to find your why. Like I said, me and Daniel don't have kids, so we don't have a legacy that we're pushing it onto. But you need to find a why, not only for yourself with each other, but also for each other, but also for yourself. I need to, like I said, Daniel worked his butt off to get me into the nursing career, and now I'm at Proline. Why did I do that? Why did I myself do that? And how can me and him make sure our common goal of like what we're putting all of our effort into, day in and day out, is going to get us somewhere? And like, what do we want? So for some people down here, it might be just leaving a legacy. But for me and Daniel, it's something that we can do meaningfully together. That we are putting all this effort into, we're building something together. That's my purpose. I don't know where it's going to get us, but we're doing this together, and it's not only building us in a career that we can enjoy together, but also as husband and wife. So you need to find your why, but also for yourself too. Why are you doing this? Because I don't want to ever go down the road where I am resenting him for joining the company. So I need to find a why of why I decided to go with the company. And for me, a lot of it was supporting Ken. I am challenged within that. And as long as my why consistently stays the same or it's evolving and I have a reason for what I'm doing and a purpose, we'll be golden. Effective communication. So Kelsey is horrible at communication. I'm really surprised I'm actually rocking the shenanigans right now. Yeah, I am. But typically at home life, for me and Daniel, he's been telling this since we got together. Me and him have been married almost 10 years, you guys, this year. And I know. And I, at home in personal life, I'm the person that literally, he calls it ostriching. You just put your head in a hole, and I don't want to talk about it. He's like, you're ostriching right now. We don't like, I just shut down. So that's how I am personally at home. And he just likes to dig me out of that hole, makes me want to talk about it, digging that head out. At work is kind of the opposite. I mean, he doesn't put his head in a hole, but he just wants like quick conversations on to the next because he's so busy. But for me, I want to have a detailed conversation. If I have something I want to talk about, I want to talk about it. But he's like, let's another time, schedule a time to meet together. I'm like, well, if I do that, we're not going to talk about it. So it's understanding how each person communicates, us at work and also at home, and trying to work on that. Because that is an never ending thing, is communication. I think what was it, yesterday, me and him were working on estimates, and I have a very short fuse, particularly with Daniel. And I think it's because I think he needs, like, he can like read my mind. Like, he already knows what I'm trying to say. I assume that you do. And we were working on estimates yesterday, and he had a question. I had a question. I don't even know what it was. Basically, I was really short with him. And I'm like, I think it's just because I think he can read my mind of what I'm trying to tell him, and I can't fully express in words to him what I'm trying to say. So that's a never-ending thing that I'm trying to work on. Short fuse and actually verbalizing what's in my head and pushing it out there. But again, it's just trying to differentiate how you can communicate at work and then at home, because it is different. Husband and wife at work, I assume that I could I can say, hey, babe, come over here, or whatever it is. Or I speak to you in a way that I would never speak to Amanda or JJ at work. And it's different. And I had to continuously remind myself that, like, if I said this to JJ, how would you take that? Probably not good. So I should probably not do that to you. Celebrating strengths, because we all have them. And Daniel is amazing at communication. We just learned I'm not. He can string together words, manipulate conversations, and he's great at it. He can verbalize things very well. He's also very good at analytics, financials, and I want nothing to do with math. And I've learned this year, I think I'm dyslexic. I move a lot of words around. He's going to have to look at a lot of my estimates. So if anyone gets those, I'm sorry. But my background in the healthcare is very detail-oriented, and I'm very good at time management. So we've determined through my strengths that I'm very good at admin and HR related. Not that I like it, but I can definitely get those things out there. And he does not have the bandwidth, or truthfully, he doesn't even want to look at that stuff. He hates it. Any conversation I bring up about that, he just shuts down. He hates it. But you use those. So I would put him in sales because he communicates with people very well. He can do the financial reporting or the bookkeeping, or if I have a new client coming in, that's someone that I would want him to talk to. He's the person that person needs to talk to. Me, I'm like the phone person. I can be funny with you and entertain you and enjoy those conversations. And I can check off my box. I did my follow-up with you, but I don't really care to do that. That's all you've been. You can have it. So delegating tasks is based on your strengths, not traditions. So typically, women do admin stuff, but I hate it. It's not a fun thing to do. I would never want to do financial stuff. And Lillian, you're all a bookkeeper section. So I mean, it's just do based on your strengths, because that's not mine. Like I said, that working with your spouse really is not for everyone. It takes a lot. Some people cannot be with their spouse all day. Thankfully, Daniel's out and about all day. I'm at the office a lot, and we're not together constantly. But it does take a special person to do that together. And it's a lot of hard work. And so just make sure you set boundaries with each other. Find a hobby that you could do together. Try to find the best way to communicate with each other at home and at work, because it is truly different. And again, just appreciate your strengths. He's good at sales. I'm not. But challenges are inevitable with this. And we've learned through all this that we try to attack the problem, not the person, through that. And that's been a very big thing we try to keep in the back of our minds, is that I'm not mad at you, and I shouldn't be mad at you for that. Let's find a solution to the problem. So I'm going to try and attack the problem, not the person. So that way we can achieve more than you would alone. So that's our goal, is doing it together. And that's what I got.